So this is my 2001 S2000 that I have posted up for sale on Craigslist, and just going over just a quick walk around just to talk about some things. So you notice the rims, they're upgraded from stock and they're slightly wider, so they come out more to the edge of the fender, the fenders, and the rear actually stick out slightly farther, but it's not too far to where recon's needed. The factory S2000 rims are staggered, and I believe the front is a 5 and the rear is a 6, or maybe its front is 6 and rear is a 7, but either way, these rims that are on it now, they are, front is a 7 and the rear is an 8-inch width, and that's on a 17-inch rim. The front tires, they're just a regular, it's just a regular road tire. It's nothing really sticky. What is it, OHTSU, so nothing really fancy. The rear tire, however, is a Dunlop Durenza Sport Z1 91W. So it's the W rating tire, so it's more of a sticky tire, and you can see it's got some pretty good life. Front tires have even more life left in them. I'll go back to that just to show the life in them, but you can see they still pretty good bit. Walking up here, so front ones still have a pretty good bit of tread. There's no uneven wear. That's, you know, it's nice, and the passenger side one looks about the same. So they're ASA rims. ASA is a company that falls under BBS, Brembo brake systems. The upgraded, I pulled off the factory marker lights and put on JDM marker lights, and they're clear. The factory S2000 marker lights are yellow. The headlights are still in really good shape. And you can see that there's the intercooler in the front, and I've got the sprayers mounted on the bottom of the bottom of the bumper behind the headlights for the intercooler sprayer. That's been disconnected in the trunk. It kept leaking water out of the hose out in the front. It kept draining, the hose kept draining out. I think because it's just mounted lower than the actual reservoir was. So I pulled that out just because, I don't know. It was a washer sprayer reservoir for a windshield washer sprayer. The carbon fiber's still in pretty good shape. There's a couple little nicks on it from the road, just like there's a little nick on that side of the bumper, kind of, you can see like right on the side of the headlight. It's there, and then this headlight's in pretty good shape too. So water spots, rain spots. Let's see. There's no chips or anything in the windshield. The windshield's still in pretty good shape. Nothing wrong with that. No cracks, no chips, no anything. The glass is still, it's all great all the way around the car. The top was replaced this past April. I think one of the construction guys across the street was tired of me parking in front of where they were working on the house, so somebody had slashed it with a razor blade right through there. Really frustrating. It was like $1,500 to get a new top. Well, insurance, I paid the deductible, insurance covered it, but it was frustrating. But I did make sure that I had the glass top replaced, because it had a glass top in it, and somebody had put an aftermarket top on. So I made sure to get the glass top back, because the 2000 and the 2001 S2000 have plastic rear windows, and this has the glass rear window. Walking around, so this is I forget what brand, West something, Sea West, or something like that. I have it listed in the Craigslist post, and there's some water. And I opened the trunk, and I guess there was some water under there that made a little meh. Looks bad. The AP2 tail lights. It's an upgrade from the AP1s. It requires grinding away a little bit of the inside of the trunk, and then, you know, making your own little bracket to hold it in. But they're good, nice and sturdy. And they're water droplet. So the exhaust, it's a MagnaFlow, I believe. So MagnaFlow 3-inch exhaust. I know I'm getting away from the body, but I'm just while I'm talking about it. I couldn't pass safety inspection without getting a cat back on this, so I got a 3-inch MagnaFlow catalytic converter for underneath. You can't see it, but I did get a 3-inch MagnaFlow. So walking around the rest of the body, so AP2 tail lights. That's the exhaust, a single exhaust, and I heard they make a little cover, like a little cap for that. That's the safety inspection. It expires February of next year, along with the registration is also February of next year. And going around, back around to this side, I got this shorty antenna. I really like it. It just looks a lot better than the little 6-inch, little stubby antenna that was on it. And then again, ASA rims in the back and the front. It's not, it's all the rims match. I guess it's worth mentioning. This is one of the stupid parking lot dings that's always frustrated me. I do what I can to, I guess, when you watch it, it's more noticeable. But there's kind of like a scratch that's along with it. Not a scratch, but like somebody was wearing jeans or something and they brushed by the car. So that's there, and there's another spot there, and little scuffs like somebody brushed against the side of the car in a parking lot. But there's a few little dings like that which just make it frustrating. And then, you know, JDM marker light on this side too, obviously, and I guess I'll just mention that because it's worth mentioning. I don't know. So this is an upgraded an emblem from the stock. It's a Rix S2K. .com is where you can buy them from, but they don't sell them with the 2000 on the bottom anymore. So this one started to look ugly. I started looking into what it was, and I found that it's now the newer ones, they only come with the S. They don't have the 2000 on it. So there's it does look a little ugly, but I have the upgraded JDM badge to match the one in the rear. So this one on the rear is the JDM badge, the JDM emblem on the Honda NSX and the JDM S2000s. It's got the red vice the black Honda emblem. So the one is in here. So this is the other one. Yeah, they came as a little set. Just got it stuck in cardboard. So that's the one for the front. It'll pop on fine. That'll come with the car. Well, you see the interior is pretty clean. I guess I've already talked about the exterior, but interior is pretty clean. Walk around. Well, I mean, I should have actually vacuumed it. I cleaned it like a week or so ago. But the seats are all in really good shape. The vinyl's not cracked or anything like that. And I've got the papers in the glove, not the glove box, but the little armrest. And then this is needed. I had a couple of these, so I've got the other one in my other car, but this is needed for the lug nuts for getting in the rim. But you can use a spark plug socket too. So the top is new. Oh, I put those little LED lights in there. I'll let the top down in a second. This wire isn't really needed. I just kind of leave it there because going into this gauge up here, there's an input and an output signal to where you can configure the gauge with a laptop, or you can log data off of the boost gauge on a laptop. So I just have it connected to the configure wire because they're both the same connector that goes onto this plug that's over here. So I just kind of leave that plugged in so that I know which one is there. But that can come out. It's not imperative to leave it in. It's not that I just ran a power wire around when I put this in. A little Pioneer radio, nothing special. It's not Bluetooth. It does have a little USB port on it. But the volume knob does get in the way of it closing all the way. So this doesn't close. And this other USB cable is for the engine management, which is the Haltech Platinum Plugin. So I put that in September 2014. Yeah, that's when I bought the car. It was September 2014. So interior's clean though. Like all these little things work. Nothing's broken. It's just this just doesn't want to. That won't go all the way because it hits the volume knob. So there is wire run. There's the RCA plug, and then there's the signal wire coming from this, as well as a power wire that goes to the trunk for an amp. I guess there was a system that was in it. My friend didn't have any system in it when he had it. So what else can I say about the interior? Other than it's all black. So, oh yeah, and speaking of little nicks, I mentioned that it was red before. So there's little spots, I guess, where something was in the way of the door whenever the door closed. So it made little nicks in the paint there, and there's another one somewhere. I feel like there was one. Oh, it was, yeah, so right there. This little stuff's frustrating. So, but it was repainted from red to black. Mostly, there's just a few little spots that are kind of starting to look worse than others, like here, where it's kind of starting to crack a little bit, and you see, I don't like that, but just being honest. And then going in the trunk, it's all sprayed black also. As you can see, like where this little interior cloth is missing, like there's this one on this side, this one over here is missing, and this is the papers here that receipts and stuff, receipts of things that I purchased, and that's like a non-Carfax thing. What is this called? It's a little accident report thing. It just goes through vehicle checks and whatnot. Goodyear, from when I had the alignment done, I guess a year ago now, a little over a year ago. And then just receipts from the previous owner when he had, I guess this is the one that's got the service, the machine head redeck pressure test, clean and hot tank, 5-angle valve job. So the engine's been, so it looks like, just by reading over that, it looks like he had a head gasket issue, probably from running, I don't know, maybe from running too much boost, I would imagine. Maybe blew a head gasket and decided while the shop was replacing the head gasket that he was going to have it ported and polished. All that stuff. So it does have a sleeved block on the engine, and I did notice this, which it's also must have been something that somebody took out when my friend bought it, but you can see there's mounts to where somebody had a roll cage. So that is an option, putting a roll cage back in it. But here, I'm leaving papers out there. The trunk does not leak. It was raining fairly heavily last night, and it's still dry. So, previous owner also had this. They had a gauge mounted. This is where the start button was, and I pulled this one out. This is the factory one, but he had cut this all up and put a gauge in there. Of course, the gauge is one of the things that was stolen when it was broken into, so they just took the gauge. But it can be used. All it is just a mute channel up, volume up and down. So this can be popped in again, and then get another gauge can be put there. This is the plug that was on the intercooler sprayer, and this is the hose that was on the intercooler sprayer. I pulled that out. It was actually leaking water down the hose, and all draining out by the front of the at the intercooler. So with that, you can see if you look inside there that you see like a little bit of red from where it was the factory color was, but this was all sprayed. This was all sprayed black. The interior of the trunk was all sprayed black. Then you got little spots there where it's kind of scratched and come up a little bit, but that's just on the inside. So it's not that big of a deal in a trunk. APT tail lights, I think I talked about those. I really like the AP2 look, vice the AP1 look. They just look a lot better. Okay, so let me let the top down and show that it does work. Mileage, it just rolled over into 54,052. AC is really nice and cold. You can't feel that through a video though. Let me open the hood. I made this airbox. I just bent up some plastic, and it's two parts. So this screw comes loose, that screw comes loose, that one and that one. And then when you take it off, the air filter is under there. So that way it's not sucking in the warm engine air. That really bothered me. I was just trying to get cooler air into the engine before it goes into the intercooler and, you know, it's cooled off. So instead of it sucking in warm air and then cooling that down in front of the intercooler, now it sucks in a little cooler air. But the fuel injectors, the turbo, all the engine work, what sensors are on it, blow-off valve, all that stuff is in the post, in the Craigslist post, all listed out. The accessories that are connected. Let me turn this off. Let me turn this off so I can make sure that I'm being heard. The accessories that are all connected. Are I've got them running through the fuse box over here, jumping off of an ignition switched power source. So this is for the wideband control. So I ran it off of there. I ran it off of that little power connection, and it goes into the fuse here. There's instructions in the glove box. That little wideband air-fuel ratio has got to be calibrated every 1,000 miles, I believe, but it's easy to do. There's just a little plastic screw to turn, and then it takes like a minute. But yeah, the engine is mostly clean. There's no oil leaks. This is where it's been parked. So there's no oil drips. It's pretty clean. It is loud, so if you don't mind a loud car. 3-inch exhaust all the way through with no cat, and a MagnaFlow muffler will do that. But I don't know. When I got it, there wasn't there wasn't washer sprayers in, so I kind of had to connect that. But they're good. They're in now. They work fine. Just didn't have hose or sprayers, the little squirters. But so I put this in, like I was saying, to get the cooler air going into the engine. So it sucks in from the side of the fender now. It does not suck in air from the radiator fan. So that's contained. And this inlet pipe is the same size as the pipe that goes into the turbo. So there's no restriction there. The only restriction is the restriction from the air filter. These hoses that look steel braided, it's actually a steel braided cover. They rubbed through on the frame a while ago when luckily I was a block away from the house. But they rubbed through on the frame, and one of them started spraying oil everywhere, so it got the engine filthy. I had to pressure wash it. But there's still a little oil residue just where it got everywhere. But it rubbed through on the frame, and I managed to I just shut it off, and I was able to coast down the hill to get home. But it was frustrating. So I got a new pressure line, and I put it inside of this little sheath. All that is a sheath. It's not steel braided line. It's just made for looks, but it is metal. It is a stainless steel mesh that goes around the wire. Not a wire. It goes around the hose. So it's made to go around like wire looms and stuff like that. But wire looms and other rubber hoses, but I don't want to do that. Let's see. Pretty clean though. I've tried cleaning this. It's the white valve cover. The S2000s have a red valve cover with, I think this is black, so it's been sprayed white on that centerpiece, and then black on the it's like a metallic black for the valve cover. But just to match up VINs. So Gotta make sure, yeah, I have to make sure it doesn't have my address on it. So JHMAP 11461 T001935. I don't know if you can read that, but that's there. And it's the same thing there. JHMAP 11461 T001935. So that's good. The I don't know if you have any questions on it. Send me an email or a text message. But all this stuff, well, I guess it should go through. So all these little compartments work fine. Oh, I never even knew that. When the top's down, it doesn't open all the way. Huh. So it'll open all the way when the top's up. But right now it bumps the top. I guess it's a design flaw, I guess. But that clips in fine. See, I'm pulling up on it. The little latch holds. And now I press the button and that's fine. I don't know what that little screw was from. I think I found it under the seat and threw it up there just in case I ever found what it went to. But this is, I just leave it in the glove box so I don't lose it. But all in all, it's a pretty clean car. There's a few little nicks on the paint just from parking lot stuff. It's frustrating. But it's all pretty clean. So that is, I don't really know what else to show with the car. I never could get this off the seat. I don't know what it is. It's just like something hardened there, but it's good. I have the wires tucked away in this little net holder thing. So oh, alloy craft cooling plate, Mishimoto radiator. My other car is a Mishimoto radiator also, and that little sticker came off. It just kind of sticks down to the radiator cap. So that came off on my other one also. I guess they stay very long. Tial wastegate. There's the header and the turbo and everything. It's a fuel rail. Ultimate injectors made by Siemens. And then I have all Haltech wideband gauge too. It's because Haltech is they make really good stuff, and what their wideband gauges are pretty close to top of the line, especially for the price. So delivers a really accurate wideband signal, about as good as you can get on the LSU or the LSU 4.2 sensors. The LSU 4.9, that's a factory wideband that's in all the factory cars, is better, but there aren't many affordable wideband controllers that have that that use that sensor. Just factory cars. So anyway, well, that's all I have on it. I don't know what else to show. One of the boxes that was in the trunk, I don't know what else to show. One of the boxes that was in the trunk is that's a JDM badge. I think I talked about that. So real car ball joint. I looked into that because it's they're pretty cheap online, but I read a lot of reviews on them and people were using them fine. So I replaced the one on the front driver's side. So that one's good. It's pretty easy to replace. And the one that's in here is the one that's left for the passenger side, so the other one that wasn't used. As you can see, I mean, if the ball joint was messed up, then that tire wouldn't, this wheel would be more tucked in. Doesn't knock or anything. It's pretty good. So, got my keys in my pocket. Okay, but this is really everything that I have to show about the car. If you have any questions, then make sure you send me an email or a text. What? This is it. 01 S2000, clean title. And fancy pedals. I actually don't know if those pedals came stock with the S2000s or if those are the ones that you buy, that you upgrade. But steering wheel's in pretty good shape too. So it's still really clean. Anyway, well, that's it. That's it with the car.